So I have no idea who those guys were either. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Pirates, sit down for this, 10, Nationals 3. That was last night at PNC Park. Yes, that's the final score. Yes, the Pirates pounded out 14 hits, only 2 of those for extra bases, a couple of doubles, but nobody's complaining. Nobody's complaining after what they'd been through offensively, really since the very beginning. Their 184 team batting average being the lowest to this point in a major league season since Brooklyn in 1907. I mean, yeah, Washington has the highest ERA in the majors by a half a run at 5.50. Yeah, having 12 of your 14 hits be singles is a pretty neat thing unto itself. But, you know, they always tell you, and this applies across sports, that the game in which your team comes out of a slump is never pretty. Even if the scoreboard, in this case, is pretty, the production, the nature of it wasn't. And that doesn't matter at all if it functions as a pivoting point. This was what Derek Shelton had to say last night when asked if it appeared the team looked a little bit more aggressive at the plate.
Yeah, I think you saw it. I mean, we had really, right from Cruzy's first at bat, he hits about 115 right back through the middle. We scored some runs early, and you look up on the board, and Lord was at like 27 pitches, 35 pitches. So I think they took to heart, okay, we're going to go out and attack, and it really, I think we saw it.
Yeah, there were some hits. There were a couple that were hit hard. There was Paul Skenes pitching quite well. Skenes had 6 innings of 2-run ball. 1 of those runs was earned. 3 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Pitched well. No complaints after he had what had been the worst outing of his young and already brilliant career. So what do you do with it? Well, the first thing you do is you win again tonight. Mitch Keller's pitching. The Nationals will still presumably be terrible. You try to make some of the good feelings stick, but then you've still got so much to clean up. I can't with all of these errors. They charged 2 errors on Skenes last night because that's just the nature of the way pickoff throws operate. If the pickoff throw isn't caught, they almost always give it to the pitcher, which is kind of a weird scoring thing and one of many reasons why advanced analytics are almost completely ignoring official scorer decisions anymore. And Manuel Valdez was the first baseman. At least it said that on the lineup. He couldn't catch anything over there. And if I were Skenes, I would have stopped after the first one, meaning throwing over there. O'Neal Cruz with another... clumsy is not necessarily the right word, error, but it was the ball's coming to him. It's a single that's heading out into center field, a little bit more toward left center, and he's running laterally toward it. He just doesn't position himself right to stop the ball and keep it in front of him. What he does is he tries to stop it while he's still going in its direction, and he boots it. And I mean, in this case, literally boots it. There was other stuff that went wrong, but listen, they won. They won 10-3. I'm not about to bury them for finally coming away with a positive outcome. Something else happened in this game that I really wanted to talk about today because it's something I feel like I haven't been talking about sufficiently to this point. And that's that Andrew McCutchen brought them these black and gold, what are called fightin' necklaces. And it was more of a gag type thing, get everybody feeling like they're together, and you're allowed to wear them on the field, so they did. And when it was over and Kutch had a terrific game himself, 1 for 2 with 2 walks, scored a couple of runs, made a tremendous catch in right field. My goodness, he might still be this team's best outfielder. Nuts, right? After he took basically a year and a half off from anything out there. And if that lightens the mood a little bit, if that gets guys to relax and not worry about who's going to be the next one to be demoted or waived or DFA'd or whatever the case might be, then it'll help. What I had not been talking about, and probably should have, was that before this, that clubhouse was, wow. I mean, it was a mortuary, and I can even include the final stretch of spring training leading up to the opener in Miami. I had no idea at the time, and certainly didn't after the first 16 games, where the energy was going to come from in this place. You can acquire all of the veteranosity that you want. Cap tip to the great Pirates fan Wilbur Miller for that reference. But you can't make Tommy Pham a fun dude. He is the polar opposite of fun. Adam Frazier you can get to provide leadership. Frazier also not exactly a jokester. Whereas if you saw the high five line last night after the game out by the mound, you saw Kutch with big beaming smile greeting everybody as they were coming through, holding that necklace up. Cruz took his off and was waving it over his head. These are fun people, and it doesn't hurt to have fun. At the end of the day, no matter how pressing the given situation might feel, the professional ranks, at the top ranks, given sport, it's still a child's game that's being played. When we come back, J1Q.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Cody Nuzzo, who says, DK, I love the show. I look forward to it every day on my drive to work. Over or under reaction from me? The Pirates fine-tuned Paul Skenes' fastball arm angle this spring to have the same release angle as his other pitches. Now, we rarely see him top 100 miles an hour. Does the extra 3 or 4 miles an hour matter? First off, the Pirates didn't do anything with Skenes that he wouldn't want. This is one strong-willed, self-sufficient, eminently capable of thinking for himself, including when it comes to pitching, young man. So this is not going to be one of those cases, I can promise you, over this year, or the next year, or the year after that, where you're going to say, oh, look, they screwed up Skenes. It's just not going to happen. Skenes himself speaks often, and did this as soon as he arrived, about not being all that motivated to rely on his uncanny velocity for any longer than he needs to in his career. That's why he keeps adding pitches. That's why he keeps adding different looks. He struck out one batter last night on a changeup that spun to the outside away from a lefty. It was criminal. It was the swing that he got. And I apologize for not remembering who it was. But I don't know that I'd seen Skenes throw that. You have to understand that what makes him the unicorn that he is isn't just that he's a big dude throwing hard. He does everything. In the pickoff moves. How about running to third base to get that guy out? And by the way, that guy was out. I have no idea what they were looking at on that replay. But if we want to talk about Skenes' velocity, and whether or not something's been done to take some of it away or whatever, I'm going to push back at least a little bit here, Cody, because I have here on the laptop in front of me all of the Baseball Savant breakdowns of every single pitch that Skenes threw in this game. He topped out at 99.6, which on the official meter rounds out to 100. So he hit 100. He also threw two 99.5s. Those are also 100s. He threw 3 99.4s. He ended up throwing 13 pitches at 99 miles an hour or harder. He threw 29 pitches at 98 miles an hour or harder. He threw, you get the idea here. He wasn't soft tossing out there. He wasn't taking something off of it. I can assure you, and you're going to remember this for yourself from last year, that when he wants or needs to ramp it up, when he wants a 101 or a 102, especially to finish off a start, maybe strand some guys on the bases and, have that fun smile that he has when he's walking toward the third base dugout, he's got that in there. He knows that's in his arsenal, and that's actually a part of his approach. He never worries excessively about any situation because he knows he has that. He doesn't want to lean on it all the time. He doesn't want to lean on it really even half the time. He wants to be more versatile than that. He wants to be truly, here's a word that gets overused, but not in this case, great. And that's what he is. I appreciate the question. A fair one to ask. I appreciate everybody checking out Daily Shot of Pirates. We'll be back with another one of these tomorrow.